Why
Yep.
is it important to question what is fed to you? It's a great point. What you asked, what you just said. Why is it important to question what is fed to you?
An unexamined life is not worth living.
Explain that. I
Let's
like
put
nice.
it, put it that way.
Very nice. No, but like for a larger like people who are watching this podcast and people who are listening to this podcast and people who are watching the video, they'll be like, why should we believe? I mean, then there's no fun in life, right? If you're going to start questioning everything and everything, you can't be that kind of person. But critical thinking and like looking at something objectively is very important. But is are you saying that the world should be careful because guys like you exist?
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like I am merely somebody who's just maybe holding that mirror to everyone that hey, look, this is what's been happening all around you. मैं कुछ नया नहीं कर रहा हूँ. What I'm doing is only telling you that this is happening.
True, true.
Uh, so in that sense, no. I mean, but again, who am I to tell anyone क्या करना है, क्या नहीं करना है?
You
And
are.
in terms of even question, no, I'm not telling anyone. I want you to discover those truths for yourself
That's true. Okay,
by looking at my project, by looking at the artifacts that I've created. So, yeah.
nice, nice. Can you give me an example of a project that your students might have done and that they have like what is their methodology and how they have pushed a narrative? It might be funny or might be something very serious. I don't know. It's like something your students have done that you have helped push out in the world, like some fake news or some myth that you have started.
I don't know if it has really kind of gone into public realm, but so there's this one student who did a project in Jabalpur, and Jabalpur is also the pathway where Narmada crosses through. So on the ghats of River Narmada, there are death rituals. And among the death rituals, she actually so there were two students who did this project. So both of them they got together and they devised a death ritual, completely a new ritual called Panchhu Sanskar, and something that they came up with,
What?
and they related it. Yeah, Panchhu Sanskar. So what they did, they asked someone to say. So they interviewed someone as a pandit, and the pandit explains the entire process of kya karna hai, we have to bring fruits and this and that and ek diya jalane ka and all that. And and to legitimize this Panchu Sanskar,
Yeah.
they created one figure, like like all gods and demigods.
An idol.
So it's a sort of a demigod which has gone into Narmada, which lives inside Narmada river, and kind of comes out only every full moon day or something. And they also created, like, it's like a sort of Garud looking creature
Yeah.
that goes into the river, and kind of nobody sees the creature, but one point of time, only on full moon days when you're doing the Panchu Sanskar is when you kind of encounter the creature.
Okay. And
So taking reference of the Loch Ness monster kind of a mythology
so
from
100 years
Scotland.
later, if this continues, then this is going to become a reality for many people, and there might be festivals around the Panchu Sanskar, and it'll give hope. Okay, why is it? Why is it? I'm going to ask you this again. Why is it important for people to have more and more beliefs like this? Like by starting something. This is a beautiful example. By starting something like what your students have done, I think it's pretty funny, but still, what they have done is they have added and contributed to another myth in the world. And now, if it picks up, and if people start, hopefully they have not watched this podcast and know the origin story. But like, if let's say they just find the idol somewhere, and you know, maybe they find the video clip somewhere on YouTube, and it becomes something. It might become a full-blown festival,
Hmm.
and people might dance around it, and people might, I don't know.
Wow.
Is that what the end? What is
Well,
the what?
what's wrong with that? Yeah, if
No,
that happens, that yeah, nothing like it. Imagine like all the economy being fueled by big events like that. Another Kumbh Mela maybe around Narmada river banks also.
and it's come from two students from SEPT or NID.
NID, yeah,
NID.
two students from NID. But yeah, I mean, it was a workshop,
No, so you're basic.
and they were also trying to figure
You
out a story.
No, I'm shocked because if this can happen, if this can actually become something larger, then this kind of like you have to put the lens back on so many festivals and be like, oh wait, who started this? And nobody really knows. Then you're
But so are, I mean, that's how myths are. That's why myths are so fluid, that it doesn't have a beginning point, nor it has an end point. Like, because it's so easily kind of
it's fluid.
how
Yeah,
do you say, like, kind of fluid, and moves through societies and cultural fabrics,
yeah, yeah.
like, even without consciously knowing it. Like, you are very subconsciously aware of these stories, and somewhere it comes to you, or at least even if you use it as analogy,
yeah,
it is, it
yeah.
changes a lot of things.
But how do you again? I'm asking you again. How do you make sure it lasts? Apart from like, let's say these students did this thing. How do you make sure that it lasts for another 100 years? Is that a part of your
Wow.
project also, where you kind of like,
Mm,
did
wow.
they tell at least 3 4 more people so that some young girls or some young guys, so that at least for the next 70 years somewhere in the subconscious the story would have gone where they would have told them while playing marbles or something like that, so that it slowly it
Mm,
mutates, the story mutates and grows and grows.
wow. No, I have, but I would, yeah, I would love to. You're giving so many ideas
I'd
actually
like to
to
sit
kind of
with
work
you
on,
and I'd
because
like to sit with you and plant some new things, especially about
let's do,
my
let's
neighbor,
do
especially
that.
about my neighbor. Help me in this in this neighborhood. I don't like him, man. Okay, anyway, so no, I'm just like asking for advice. It's great. It's like it's kind of like opened up my. It's like opened up my. Without seeing a visual of yours on the blog or without, you've kind of like explained it very neatly.